So we're doing a little bit of maintenance work this morning before our first job. The swivel went bad on this, so Max swung by, grabbed a new swivel, a new gun, and he's putting it all back together so we can get this house done. We're doing the roof, we're doing all the concrete, doing the house. They've got a lanai in the backyard, and this is a one. How many times have you done this lanai?
4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and they've got a beautiful like enclosure, and it's all screens, and the screens get super mildewy and super moldy, and you're gonna see when we go back there that you don't wanna look at that when you've got this view. And again, this is my next door neighbor. I live right there. This is their house, and these folks have easily spent $200,000 on the landscaping up front, and you'll see it in the back in a second.
And if you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to give you a huge secret, something that I use all the time. And it's the question that I ask customers all the time. And it's a pure golden nugget. So wait until the end because you're going to want to use this.
Okay, so and obviously on a house like this, we have got a bunch of expensive vegetation absolutely everywhere. These are Japanese maples. They ain't cheap, and this one's been around here for about 18 years. So we are doing everything we can to protect all of the beautiful stuff, okay? The good news is they've got gutters, right? And with that being said, in theory, all you really need to do is protect what's coming out of the downspouts. But we take it a step further, and we run our sprinklers the entire time that we're working, and I'm getting wet. But the whole reason that we do that is to not have to have a ground man, yet keeping everything saturated. And the beautiful thing about this house is all of their downspouts go underground, and then they come out right here. So we'll also have to monitor this. Anything that does come out, we're gonna saturate this so we don't kill any grass over here or around here. And these people probably have gutter guards installed or some sort of leaf filter system. And as you can see, oh, they do?
Yeah, they do.
And so as you can see, you've got shit built up on top of them. And that's making the rain not go in the gutters, but over the gutters, which defeats the purpose of gutter guards who screw people over, lie to old people. Their commercials are disingenuous. They say you'll never have to get on a ladder again to clean out your gutters. And they're right. You're not going to have to clean out your gutters. You're just going to have to clean out what's on top of the gutters. And you're going to have to do that pretty much every year, just as you were having somebody come and clean out your gutters. So don't get over and screwed over and lied to by a bunch of assholes that are trying to sell you a bill of goods that just doesn't work. And you can see it right there.
Your wife's behind it. By the way.
Oh.
I didn't want to honk and interrupt your B-roll.
Hey, she knows about
I know
B-roll.
about B-roll.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. Crystal hates being on camera.
So as Matt gets started, I wanted to talk about pricing and some of the things that I've run into from both customers and from my own mindset in regards to pricing. And the reason that I'm even thinking about this is because of this house. Again, these are my neighbors. I've known them for a very long time. We moved in right about the same time within a couple weeks. They are friends, they are neighbors, and they are customers. And it would be very easy for me to give them a big discount because of that. And I do give them a slight discount, but I also understand that I'm running a business. They understand I'm running a business. And if they're good neighbors, if they're good friends, and they're good customers, they don't want to beat you up on price. They understand the value. And as you'll see today, all the things that we're doing, this job is going to take all freaking day. And as a business owner, at least a smart business owner, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to make a profit. And I'm not out here working for free or for break even. You've heard me say it a lot. This is not a charity. This is a for-profit business. And I got to look at it from this perspective. Mac usually does 3 or 4 houses a day. We want our daily average per truck to be between $1,200 and $1,500 a day. Now, of course, that's not going to be every single day. That's not going to be every single week. There are slower times. There are times where we make more. There are times when we make less, but you have to set goals and you have to have standards. And that's one of the reasons that in the calendar on Quote IQ, we have the daily number for every single day for how much we're doing based on everything that's scheduled for that specific day. So you get it like right in your face, snapshot every single day. And I built that in just for me. And if I know that one job is going to take us all day, you better believe we are going to get paid. I am charging these people, my friends, my neighbors, and my customers $2,300. The roof, the house, the concrete, and the screen enclosure. And as you're going to see, it is a very time-consuming process because of everything that we have to work around. There is a lot of protection. There is a lot of work that we are going to have to do to ensure this job is done properly and safely. Obviously, this is somewhat of a unique scenario. It's a nice job. They are my neighbors, but I did want to share with you guys something that happened the other day. I got 5 notifications that a customer had hit my website. They filled out an InstaQuote powered by Quote IQ. So obviously, I get super excited, right? Who doesn't love when customers call for quotes? They just go to your website and they get a quote. It's the best. And it's not really that surprising because I had just done a pretty big mailing to a very nice area in Savannah. And I was just assuming that's why all these notifications came in at once. A bunch of people went to the mailbox, a bunch of people got them, and a bunch of people knew they had shit that they wanted to get clean. So they got on my website and they were getting quotes. But then I started looking at each individual InstaQuote, and all 5 of these were from the same guy. He's getting the exact same price every single time. He wanted a quote on a house wash and a driveway cleaning. 5 different times. He went through the process 5 times, entering the exact same square footage, answering all the questions the same that fine-tuned the quote, and he got the same quote 5 times in a row. So he saw the same price 5 times in a row. And then in my email automation sequence, if the customer doesn't schedule at the time of the quote, in 30 minutes, they receive an email follow-up that just says, hey, just wanted to check in and see if you had any questions, blah, blah, blah. So he got the email automation for all 5 requests that he filled out, most likely trying to see if he could get a better price, and then responded to one of the emails, and I quote, "Why are your prices so high? Why do you send so many emails?" So my gut reaction is to say, my prices aren't high, you're poor. But for the sake of not being a complete jackass, I use better judgment. And when I say better judgment, I'm talking about every time I have a questionable thought, I ask myself what my wife would say. And 9 times out of 10, actually probably 10 times out of 10, what she would say is the complete opposite of what I would say or what I would do. And so I refrained. And I just responded back that we have a great service. We've been in business for 2 decades, great reviews. We understand that the price seemed a little high. Maybe we could take off the driveway and that would lower the price and you could still get your house washed, right? I'm not going to negotiate on price, but I will negotiate on the services that we offer so we can get to a price point that works for them. That's something to think about. Okay, so I was still trying to salvage the sale, but also thinking to myself, we send so many emails because you filled out the form so many times, but I didn't. I let it go. And then I asked if he wanted to get on the schedule for just the house wash and just to see what he would say. And he did not schedule, and that is okay. He'll be continually hit with emails over the course of the next few days to encourage him in a number of different ways to pull the trigger and get on the schedule. But I'm not going to waste any of my time on this guy. I'm going to let our email automation do that because I have identified that he's a tire kicker. Not only is he a tire kicker, but he's a complaining tire kicker, and they are the worst. This is not somebody that I probably want to deal with. And there are a lot of ways that you can weed these people out. And the number one way that I have found to weed bad customers out is with price. And so this house and that email exchange really made me think about the mind shift change that I had to make early on in my business because I was just like this guy. But I thought my own prices were too high. And as I talk about that mind shift change, it wasn't as easy as you think. But a perfect example, like I said, is this house. Back in the day, because they're my neighbors, because they're my friends, I probably would not have charged them a fraction of what they're paying for what we're doing for them today. And that's because I was weak-minded. I didn't understand the value that we provided. I was scared to throw out big numbers. I was scared that I might offend somebody. And that cost me a shit ton of money. So in the comment section below, right before you give this video a thumbs up, leave the comment mind shift. Whether you need one now or you've had one and it's working out for the best, leave that below. So back then I used to say, hey, we're only washing houses or cleaning driveways, and there's no reason why we should be charging as much as I thought we should be charging. I was a little embarrassed and ashamed to give people high quotes, even though I knew my prices were fair. They were competitive and they were profitable for my business. But something in the back of my head told me I shouldn't be charging this much. And I got to be honest, old Mike here wishes he could go back and slap young Mike around and tell him to get his head out of his ass and start making money way sooner. I don't even want to think about how many hundreds of thousands of dollars I left on the table during the first 10 years of my business because of this weak ass mindset. I was afraid to push the envelope. I was afraid to charge what we were truly worth because there was a stigma. At least there was in my head, because this is a blue collar job. It was manual labor. We're outside busting our asses, busting our knuckles, sweating our balls off. And I thought that meant that the service we were providing was of lesser value, but that couldn't be further from the truth. At the end of the day, it's all about perspective. Everybody has different perspectives. And one thing that gives you a different perspective is having money. And not only having money, but having disposable income, which allows you to make more choices. Sure, a lot of these people could do these things themselves. Sure, they could go and buy a Home Depot pressure washer and spend hours and hours doing it themselves. But they have the choice because they have the money, and their choice is, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pay somebody to do that. And when they have that mindset and that's their perception, that is who we want, because they see the value in what we do. They see the price tag that we quote. And a lot of times they probably think it's lower than it should be because they sure as hell don't want to get out here and do that. And unfortunately, I learned that the hard way. And I hope this video helps you guys avoid the same mistake that I did. Okay, so I did tell you guys that if you stay until the end, I'm going to give you one of the best questions that you can ask anytime you're giving an estimate to a customer. So say a customer calls and they're looking for a quote on something. And this is whether they're on the phone or you're talking to them on site. Before you give them the price, you have to ask this question. You say, hey, I'm Mike with All American. I got your message. You guys are looking for a quote. Can you tell me what you're looking to have done? They say, hey, yeah, I want to get my house washed. I'm thinking about getting the driveway cleaned, maybe get the gutters cleaned out. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what the service is. This is what you say. So tell me how much you were thinking you were going to pay for all of that. And then shut the fuck up and don't say a word. You just wait. Let them tell you, and then go from there. And that is one surefire way not to leave money on the table. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to check out Quote IQ, and we'll talk next time.